where I was originally raised was in California, but I spent my summers in Texas. I spent the last 8 years in Louisiana, and I did a lot of disruptive work in DC. So people ask me, it's like I have roots.
We're gonna have to get into that disruptive work. I like that word. So that tells me you've been doing some cool stuff in DC then.
Yeah, man.
Let me go back. So whereabouts in California you come from?
Southern California. So the Inland Empire, San Bernardino area.
Okay. You say taking college classes. Is that you were at home under the guidance of your parents, or were you at a university at 11?
I was at Rio Hondo Community College. At 11 years old, my parents would drop me off at the school. They would either be waiting out in the car for me. But yeah, started taking off college math and college English courses.
That's crazy, because I went to the fire academy there at Rio Hondo.
Oh wow, man! Those steep hills, man. Those steep hills.
We had to run up and down those things, man. It was insane, man. That
brutal.
It was insane. I had gotten out of the Marine Corps though, so then I went into the fire academy. That Rio Hondo is where I went to the fire academy.
I'm allowed to say that I was a Mark 41 vertical launching systems technician.
Okay. Nice.
So basically, the system that you see shooting missiles off the back of the ships, that was my system.
And I stood guard when they loaded those munitions into those ships.
Yep.
That's what I did.
Yep.
Off of the James River when they were down there doing all the munitions loading there. So that's cool. That's cool.
I worked for 5 years as a weapon systems engineer for the U.S. Navy. Like, I had been sent on very sensitive missions. Like, there's a particular mission that I'm very, very proud of, because the whole world was worried about this particular event, and I was involved in helping to prepare us for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very proud of the time that I spent there. And so to do that at 24, to be in charge of a major mission like that at 23, 24 years old, and then to go to law school right after, coming from that environment, it was a great experience, because it was a great experience and kind of a culture shock, because in with the military, nobody cares about how you feel.
No, you don't have no feelings.
You don't have no feelings, right?
There's no care for feels.
There isn't any nuance to whether or not something got done or something didn't get done.
Yeah.
Right. It's either it got done or it didn't get done. There's no political answer. You give me a straight answer, that's it. Right. When the old man calls you up to figure out what the hell's going on with his ship, he doesn't want to hear an entire argument. He wants to know, give me the facts. So making that adjustment from military communication and military bearing to now it was kind of a transition, going back into the civilian world was
always hard.
Yeah, man, it was rough, and I was a civilian, but when you
live in that culture, it's there's no feelings, there is no gray area. It's yes or no, right or wrong, done or done, not done. I mean, it's just it's a very different world out here, that everything's kind of wishy-washy and gray areas, and it could be or couldn't be, and in the military depends. It's different.
The weird part about it was the professor who was teaching it was like the most senior professor who had been teaching the class, and she got sick. And so in the middle of the semester, like literally 2 weeks before midterms, she was like, I can't do this. And they called me up, hey, are you interested? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm interested. Right. But I was like, I don't have a syllabus. Right. I'd have to be taking over whatever syllabus that she has. And I was like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Right. I was able to draw on my experience of working for the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, right? Some people call it the NAACP. I did a lot of advocacy and discrimination work with the NAACP while I was working as an engineer. So being able to help people get their jobs back, people when they've been discriminated because of their age, sex, race, gender, you know what I'm saying? Like, being able to help people with that, and then being able to transfer those skills. So being in law school, having to solve legal problems of my own, right, and legal problems of my family, that left me with a real intense skill set. Because I tell people, it's like, you know, even when I got to law school, they were, you know, not only military, I had already gotten into some legal trouble of my own. And it's like, when you've had to defend your own ass in court and you're successful, right, that leaves you with a whole nother set of confidence. And you recognize, like, oh, I see what this is. I see how the law works. So now, being in a position to now teach political science, I taught my class like a seminar of, this is how you use the government to solve your problems.
There's a reason why it's a hot topic at the moment. It's intriguing, interesting, and positive for Hex. So what is stopping me or someone else, anyone in the Hex having Hex or buying Hex, locking it into a stake, tokenizing it, selling it into Icosa, like go 5-5-5-5. Like you max the stake out, put it into, then you get the Icosa out, you use that Icosa to rebuy Hex, go 5-5-5 with that. Same. So you're basically looping it around, and you just keep looping that mofo until you have locked up like all the Hex into 15-year stakes. So
yeah,
you
there's nothing to stop you.
Like,
there's nothing.
Other
In fact,
than price slippage and gas fees are the only. So on a round trip, there might be a small cost to doing it, but the benefit that you're doing to yourself and the community to effectively lock up the Hex without actually having to lock it up. Like it's locked on the Hex network, but it's not locked for you. Like you're still liquid.
No, but you're generating a lot of Icosa that you're going to have to sell.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously the scale that you do it, that's why you have to keep looping it. You can't just do it in one big hit, otherwise you just crash the price.
No, but even if you just keep looping it, you're going to keep introducing more Icosa to the market, and then you've got to sell that on the DEX, and that's going to push the price down. And then and that's the price floor on the price.
So you're saying there's a limit. So you're saying there's a limit. There's a limit.
That would be great for the Hex price. I think that would be great for the Hex price, but not great for the person doing it.
Also, 43, two things, right?
Yield by not
one, we just worked out that it can't be done at scale, right? So you don't need a massive Hex holder to actually implement this strategy. And number two, the risks are low. Like it's not like I've said in the past, like the OA is like probably the only person that can pump the shit out of the Hex price with very limited risk, because there's no one to dump on them, right? Like there's no threat of someone bigger than them dumping. Whereas in this case, it's not like that. The risks are so tiny, whether it's the OA doing it or just a whale or even just a regular Hex person. I think the risk profile is not such that it needs to be the OA. Does that make sense? So just for those two factors, can't be done at scale, and the risk is not really requiring an OA style entity to do it. Also, there's a risk that you're like, this is sweet, and when you go to do it, it'll be the one time that it doesn't respect the fucking channel and you get wrecked.
Okay, so
like, it's
if it, I won't say what I was going to say. Gives away a bit too much effort. So
please don't. Please don't.
Save that for the green room.
Save that for the green room. I think I know what you were going to say.
Yeah. I'll hold that.
Go 43. What's up?
Oh no, dude. I was just saying, save it for the green room. I want to hear all about it.
Mate, last week when I started like yapping my big mouth about the Hex Icosa pair, before that I was getting like really good LP fees and stuff. And then after I told you, and I might have told another person or two, like my rewards just like shot right down.
Sorry, man.
Everyone is man. You're fully front running me now. Like you're doing it in a very smart way. But it's like, you can see that chart as well. Like there's just been a massive thing of liquidity. Like it's just a big deal, guys. That liquidity chart.
I have no idea who that could be, man.
I think it's probably a few people by now. But yeah.
There's I did notice the total LP is like 270k. Now obviously that fluctuates heavily as Hex price moves up and down because they're pegged together. So when they both move up or they both move down. So the amount of LP in there obviously every percent that the hex price moves, that LP pool moves by 2. And so it's not actually necessarily 270, but that's say 300K, that's still not that huge, is it? Like in terms of an LP.
It's enough though. It's enough to get you a nice bit.
No, it's definitely enough. It's definitely enough.
Yeah.
Depends
how much you're trying to trade.
That wasn't a criticism. That wasn't a criticism of the pool. I was just saying in terms of like being able to compete for being part of that LP.
We are waiting on the PulseChain. Everybody's excited. Everybody is preparing, doing TA, doing fundamental analysis, preparing their LPs, doing all the crazy things, spitting out drama, making posts, getting all the coins in order. Everything, this and more, will be discussed today by our great Wake Up Hex crew.
It can, because they don't simply just deliver it like in a week, right?
Yep.
Depends on inventory, actually.
Depends how much you pay, maybe.
Nah, it depends on inventory. Literally. If the car doesn't exist, well, how the hell can they deliver it? If it does exist, how far is it from where it's supposed to go? And that's your delta. If it doesn't exist, well, are they making it from scratch? And if so, how long is that going to take? Those are your 3 options.
I don't think he intends to stay too long, though.
I doubt it.
No. 1 year. Delivery time 1 year.
Now. Just until PulseChain launches.
So, back to the screenshot. So what's stable is the relationship. It's not the
coin.
The coin itself is not stable. And what Abit Hex is noting is as well true. It will go up in steps because it's somewhat related or dependent on the T-share rate. Once the T-share rate is going up, it should also... No, wait, it would ratchet up the prices of both coins, but it wouldn't change the relationship. The relationship should still stay stable or just slightly variate if everything else is arbitraged.
The thing is, though, I had the charts next to each other of Hedron, Icosa, Hex, the dollar chart, the dollar pair, and they super moved in tandem over the last.
They're tied together mathematically. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the
because
only
of how
way...
the B shares are copied onto the system.
Yeah.
Icosa
right now, Hex is pumping back above 5 cents. Check this shit.
Wales, you were saying, because I was interested in what you were saying. How is it mathematically tied together?
T-share rate, man.
T-share rate, got it.
We'll auction the HSI buybacks.
Yeah, it already did. All the HSIs that were created on day 1, 2, 3, and so on, they go immediately into auction. Because the contract will not repay what is owed. So the Icosa contract is borrowing. It's using the Hedron contract. It's taking all that Hedron out and is giving it away. So the Icosa contract can never repay what is owed.
Okay, all right.
Therefore, the automatic function of the Hedron contract goes into effect on day 90 of, nobody repaid that loan that was taken, so therefore I will put it up for auction. So there's going to be a massive amount of, I don't know, 100, 200, thousands, I don't know how many there are, but a lot of
HSIs.
555 HSI stakes available to be bought on open auctions.
And you need Hedron for that.
Yeah, and you need Hedron to buy them, exactly.
And that Hedron will be burned once the auction is over.
Yeah. And that one also creates yield, and because the which pool was it? The Icosa? No, the Watsa is going off of burnt Hedron, if I remember correctly.
You can buy the HSI and sell it to the Icosa smart contract, right?
Yeah, it's a circle. So you can keep recircling those HSIs, but you have to buy them off the market again as well. If you want to burn them, it's also new players can just come in and say, I really like what yield I can get just from the HSI, so therefore I don't even want to burn it or sell it again. I just want my stake that has the old T-share rate. it will take some years for everything to roll out and be a completely usable ecosystem, but this is just the beginning, basically. But
well, I guess
5555 were created. That's the biggest that's come out of it.
Brother KG, what's happening, dude? How you doing?
What's up, RG3? Thanks for having me on today.
Oh man, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. It's always good to get in depth with a hexkin and find out where they came from, how they got into crypto, all that good stuff. So the community gets to know each other, sure. Without actually having to like personally, interact. So how did you get involved in the crypto space, which is always the typical question, but where you come from and how did you get into crypto?
Sure. So my professional background outside of crypto is actually real estate. I'm a realtor and I've been my own boss, I guess, in that field for about 5 going on 6 years now. So I've actually been aware of the crypto space since I was in high school. I discovered Bitcoin. My introduction to Bitcoin was browsing the Silk Road, actually. But when I was in high school, I didn't have money to invest. And I think
partake, right? Or partake.
Exactly. So I didn't get in. I didn't get in back in that day. Just letting you know that. But always kept crypto on the radar. And then my first big crypto investment was Dogecoin, actually. And so I was part of the Dogecoin community for a while. And then actually through Don Montoya, he introduced me to Hex about 2-ish years ago, a little less than 2 years ago. And
like
once I got
friend or an internet buddy?
Don is my father and the co-founder of our project. So it's a father-son duo going on.
Right on.
So once I got into Hex and hit that PulseChain Telegram room, it was just like, from there, meeting all the intelligent people in the community. And I've been a crypto enthusiast ever since. So we are building a native PulseChain wallet, and it will be a multi-chain EVM wallet like MetaMask. But instead of downloading it and being on Ethereum, you download it and you're on PulseChain. And it's going to be great for adoption because our target market on the onset and one of our target markets, obviously we're going to have features that even the most advanced crypto user is going to know, love, and appreciate. But it's heavily geared towards the non-crypto user and onboarding them into crypto and doing that through PulseChain. So
now you said it's going to be a multi-chain wallet?
Yes. So
is it going to exist in separate instances on each chain, or will your wallet bridge to each chain? Is that how it's going to work? It'll bridge to each chain?
It'll be eventually on the roadmap. We want to do interchain bridges, but it'll be like MetaMask for now, where you switch networks.
You just switch networks in it. Yeah.
But actually, we have one cool feature where we preload RPC settings for the major chains. So you don't have to go find RPCs. You can just switch networks right from the get-go.
Yeah, that's necessary.
Yes. And actually, we just did an AMA in our Telegram room last night, and one of the updates we gave was that this functionality is officially built. So when you download the app, on the home screen, you see your accounts, and there's a tab that says transactions. And the transactions actually aggregate right there, and you can filter them by send, receive, and swap, and by what account. So if you want to see, okay, only in account 1, I want to see my swaps, they're there. And then you can click into the transaction, and then the pertinent information is generated, like price, time, gas you paid, fees, those sort of things. And then if you want all that in-depth information there, you can then link to the block explorer.
Yeah. So you can do your chain analysis if you want and whatever.
Exactly.
But if it's not necessary, if you're just somebody doing transactions and you don't need to look at that shit and you don't want to see where the transaction everybody else's shit is and all that kind of crap, you just want to see what you're doing, be able to just read it in the freaking form that isn't so damn confusing. I've had to learn how to read it. I've had to learn how to understand it. but it's totally unnecessary. I don't have enough brain cells left to be continuing to do this kind of shit in crypto. It's like, stop, guys. Just do something normal for once instead of your galaxy brain ideas of making all this crazy crap, you know?
Yes, and that right there, we see that problem because us, the crypto nerds, it's, you know, it's fine, but after a while, still, it does get exhausting. But when we're talking about bridging the gap and overcoming that fear of that people have in approaching crypto, one of those fears is this thing doesn't make sense. So our whole wallet is geared towards literally everything we're labeling, everything we're organizing, every little thing. We have philosophical discussions on, does this make sense? And then we reach out to people who don't understand crypto and we ask, does this make sense to you? We don't want to tell you what this means. Does this make sense to you? And so the whole thing is geared towards a beautiful user interface, a clean flow, and approachability.
Okay. Well, where can everybody go and kind of look at your project?
Sure. So internetmoney.io is our website, which is being rebuilt. It's a temporary website for now. New website's about 2 weeks out. And from there, you can find all of our socials, Telegram, Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter, all Internet Money IO. We have a lot of cool videos of the wallet already that you can see what it looks like, everything like that.
Right on. We'll get in there and scrutinize it, Hexicans. Go in there and look at it, get in their Telegram rooms, look at it and see if it's worthy, if it's Hexican worthy.
Oh, and in true Hexican fashion, we're not only getting one security audit for all of our technology by Certec, we're getting a second security audit that we're still deciding on the second company. At some point on our roadmap, we will be an open source product, as well as along the way, we have internal automatic security testing. So we have robots testing it, dedicated professionals testing it, and then we're going to have it open for peer review. So it's like, that's it. We got all three entities. So the wallet is the core of our ecosystem. We have two supporting tokens. The first token is Internet Money, or IM. And when somebody downloads the wallet, they will actually be able to claim free Pulse and free Internet Money with every download. So that'll be a great onboarding tool right there. And Internet Money, it's a relatively simple token. It is, we label it as a peer-to-peer digital cash, but it's deflationary. So, you know, should be, there's a buy and burn, and we can deep dive into the tokenomics if you
is
want.
that what's going to provide the gas for the wallet, or it's all just going to be done on PulseChain?
And provide the gas in more respect.
Well, there won't be any gas. It'll be Pulse. It'll be running on Pulse. So it'll be obviously Pulse. Pulse will be what makes the transactions. There'll be nothing that needed for the wallet or anything.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Ladies Discourse. How's everyone going today?
Hi.
How are you, Serena Alonzi?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, really good. Glad to see you back in action. What's been happening?
I know I've had so much going on, and I've been in the middle of a move. So yeah, it's been crazy, and I haven't been able to make it on the stream the last couple of streams. So I'm glad to be back.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Serena. It's so good to see you. And hopefully next time you come on, we'll see your beautiful face when you're organized.
Thanks. Yeah, I hope to have my studio set up soon. So hopefully the next stream I'll have it ready, and yeah, can't wait.
CZ, did you talk to RG3 about the premiere or how it went?
Yeah,
So,
it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, and Kinetics, I believe, was with RG, and they went to go see it together. So yeah, and he won't share anything with me yet.
Really? So was that the whole movie or just bits and pieces?
I think it was the whole movie. I think he called it the rough cut, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, rough cut. So that means
so.
All right, so that means, because I think the PulseChain launch is the end of the movie. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, I guess it would.
So that needs to launch before they can finish, obviously.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do like a fake one, you know, and then, because it's going to happen anyway, but they just like pretend.
Yeah.
It is Hollywood, so.
I just wanted to talk about the launch of Icosa. So if anyone knows about Hedron, so Hedron's a coin for hexagons. So anyone state can claim their free Hedron. And Hedron's really amazing. It's the gift that keeps giving. And so when it came out, probably the start of this year, I minted some Hedron. So when you mint it, you can put it into your wallet and you can sell it. So I minted some, just sold a little bit because it was free. And then I thought, it started going up and again. I thought, I'm spewing. I'm out of the game, and then so I went back into the Hedron on the other day, and I've noticed it's like a lizard's tail. It's grown back. So what you're basically doing is you still
minting. It's producing and producing and producing.
Yeah,
to be honest, with all the projects, that's the easiest one for me. Just put it in and let it go.
Yeah. So I was amazed. I was so stoked because I thought all the big boys, the Aussie boys, are talking about Hedron and Icosa and how well they're doing, and I'm thinking, well, I'm out of the game, because I've sold out. And then I was like a miracle. I was like, look, wow, this is amazing. It's the gift that keeps giving. So don't forget to check your Hedron, everyone, because it really is the gift that keeps giving, and it's got a really bright future. But yeah, then so Icosa, the same developer of Hedron, Alex, has developed a new coin called Icosa, and that launched just this week.
But yeah, so if you have your Hedron, you can stake that and get Icosa for free. So it's pretty sweet. And you just have to go to app.icosa.pro, and you can see your Hex and Hedron and everything all on the same page. And yeah, you just mint your stuff, and it's super easy. I'm actually going to have a video coming out this weekend of just how to do it quickly in just a few minutes. So if anyone has not done that yet, then yeah, I'll have a video for you to do that. So
and they're all tied to Hex, right?
Yeah.
They're all tied to the price of Hex. And if the price of Hex goes up, Icosa goes. If now the price of Hex is what, 0.05, Icosa is what, 2 something. Imagine when the price of Hex goes to $5. What's going to happen? Who knows?
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so for us, we had a free airdrop, which was the Pulse Doge dog, stuff that y'all probably got that too. So we sold ours, got some Hedron, got some. We did the Icosa thing, and then it was like a complete circle, and you just make the money and you put it back in Hex, and so we call it the circle of life. And I know for me, like I'm still trying to understand what we're doing, and my trainer, my husband, teaches me, and I just think it's a win-win for everything. You make money, put it back in Hex, make money, put it back in Hex, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. The gift that keeps on giving. Being in this team, you're on the winning team. I mean, who doesn't want free money? I love free money, by the way. If you work hard, you love free money.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Once you pop out that video, we'll definitely pop it on Twitter so everyone can check it out and go to and get their Icosa.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of free money. It's crazy. I checked my addresses and I'm just like, oh my god, yes. So
especially you, Serena, you're
right. I love it. It's awesome.
So what are you gonna do with all that money, girl? You're gonna plant trees. What are you gonna do?
I have no idea.
Is it like really weird? How could someone spend all that money?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If you need help, call us.
Oh, right.
I'm a good entourage.
Okay, sounds good.
We are sprinkling in the ladies, and the Hex ladies. They're doing a great job of marketing and bringing in more.
Yep, just go on.
Of their own demographic. And you see them popping up. It's
yeah, but they're giving blue wrenches to them all the
different.
time, and they're censoring people over the silliest things. I've been kicked off. I can't even talk on Crypto Coffee because of something silly. It's just snowflakes. Yeah, and what other one on Hex Token? Same thing. I keep getting censored and blocked. And it's by the same girl. The same girls.
Yeah, it's a changing
crazy.
world, guys. It's a
Oh,
changing
come
world.
on.
The crypto space is getting a little more effeminate.
Nothing naughty. There was nothing naughty. It was just silly shit. And it was like, I called her a snowflake, and then she's like blocked me on numerous sites.
But here's the thing.
I'm looking for her in Vegas. You know who you are.
It's a very misogynistic space that we exist in, and it's been very intimidating for ladies. Now, not for hex ladies, because the hex ladies that came in, I mean, like Sammy Chica will go toe to toe with any dude, and
Sammy will beat the shit out of you.
She'll beat you. She's like probably top 10 in beatdowns out there. Period.
Love you,
let
Sammy.
alone just the ladies. But Sammy will jack you.
No, it's not Sam. Sammy's cool.
And but the hex ladies, man, I mean, we've got some strong-willed freaking Hexican ladies, and look at Hexy Quinn.
Quinn.
Yep. I mean, and not only that, but look at all the lookers. I mean, we have got some beautiful ladies in the Hex ecosystem. I mean, and not that that's
with me in Vegas.
Important thing, but I mean, good looking, strong, smart. I mean, they're tearing it up. So, yes,
and they're in Hex. God damn!
Straight up goats, baby. Straight up goats. Lady goats.
Over the last few decades, women became half of the earner in a household.
Not in mine.
So
just to let you know,
the more of them come into Hex, the more of them come into the community, the more they can spend on the coins, actually. They're getting savvy out there.
Changing world.
Frosty, I never said I wasn't too. I'm as bad as you are. I really am. I'm just spitting out facts. It is changing. Things are changing for guys like us.
Yeah, and we have to be more like women.
Oh, and Hexy said, "Oh, look at this." She said, "And a lot are single guys." But you know what? The cool thing is they don't have to. They're not searching for men. They got their own money. They don't need you guys. So,
that's great.
Hey, for some of you guys that got little bags, though, hey, we got some women in there. You might want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Even my girl has
sugar mamas in the
community. She's hanging on to Pulse and PulseX too. Same thing. My wife. Yeah, she has her own bags.
You're gonna be the way people are gonna be dating is asking them, "Hey, what day were you Hex entry? Did you sacrifice for Pulse? Did you PulseX? Or what did you? How many sacks did you make?
And you plan on getting in on the wallet? What's your plans for the digital wallet from Richard Hart? Just curious.
These are first date questions.
Yeah.
And if you don't pass those fucking questions,
sign here.
Get you out of here.
Next.
Please put that in writing. Press hard. Just 3 copies.
If you were a day one Pulse sacrificer, you get a second date.
Yeah. If you're in Headrun, we'll start scheduling a third also coming up.
Eyes up here. She's
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Oh my god,
that's good shit right there.
Dude, we need to create a dating app just for like Hexicans,
right?
PulseXers, and then you like have your list of questions, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm day one Hexican, I'm day one PulseChain, I'm day one PulseXer.
I'm sorry. No, I have to speak against that.
Yes,
creating the biggest honeypot on the internet.
But wait a second, it's not working for Richard. Richard Hart's like digging. He's looking for a girl, and he's got more than everybody.
No, he's not looking for a girl. Let's get that straight.
A harem, the right harem.
Is not part of the equation. Girls is probably the equation.
Okay, so you know how they have like Tinder and Bumble, but then they have like a version of like Tinder, which is based. I think it's called Raya, RAIYA. But it's like for celebrities only, and you can't get on the app unless you're a celebrity.
There's a big one out there. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's called Raya. But there you go, Dust Bomb. That's how you fork around that bullshit. You're like, you got to show your credentials. You got to get the fuck in here. You got to be a vetted.
You can call it Hexter. Hexter.
Dude, we're worldwide. Imagine just flying over the other side of the city, like the world, and just being like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'm in South America right now. Let me open up my Hex dating app and see who the fuck's down here." And then you just connect with them. You go out for some drinks, dude. That's a fucking brilliant idea, man. That is the
Get it done,
idea.
Mac. Get it
Spin
done.
Someone spin that shit up. I can't do that. I can't
That
make
sounds
that
like way
shit.
too much work. I'm just gonna stake some more hacks instead.
Georgie said, "I already got the domain, guys." Hexter. Set it up,
Well
Dorsey.
done,
Make it happen. Just go rip something off out there and set.
I like Hexiquin's one as well. Hexiquin's near me.
People are using this narrative like you guys are late into Hex to pump other coins. I won't name names, but if you are on crypto Twitter, you already know what's going on. So please be on a lookout. Like, some people have Hex in their Twitter handle, and some are really Hexicans at heart. So you have to learn to know the difference. I think that was all the things I had wanted to say here. Other thing I wanted to clarify, like, yeah, we used to have the Hex Asians show on Discourse Syndicate. We moved to the main channel for Hex Asians. I heard some rumors that like people are speculating we had some kind of spat. So it's not that. The thing is, we talk different kind of shit there on that show. Like, it is not always YouTube friendly. So it's okay to do on a smaller channel.
Well, you guys kept getting us. We were getting what do you call it? We were getting struck for copyright strikes, and we had people coming after us because you
yeah. So
we didn't kick you out though. We just said,
yeah.
hey,
So
never was a problem ever. You guys are always welcome here. You can come back if you ever wanted to.
So that was what I was saying. Like, it's better we are on a separate channel. We can explore like other communities,
explore
possibly without hating the algos. And to answer Blue Collar Grunt's question, if you want a Hex Asian hoodie, it is now available on hexmerch.com.
Look at you shilling shit on this channel. What's the matter with you?
Kicked.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The pie is big enough for everybody to get in and for all of us to win. I don't think we need to hide any information just to get a bigger piece of the pie. Like, a bigger piece of a smaller pie or a smaller piece of a bigger pie kind of thing, even though it is kind of competitive yield. But I'm really excited for what's been happening with what's NFTs. It's gotten a lot of attention. A lot of money has been thrown into it. And
was it like 16 million right now or 17 million?
Something like that. I haven't checked. It's been getting more and more every day, but over 10 million for sure. And then now that, the entity that owns that address, now has kind of like a little bit of a war chest for the whole system. And if anybody hasn't checked out Silva the Antidote's video on like what potentials, what those funds could potentially be used for, if we assume that entity is benevolent towards the system long term, those potentials are really interesting to look at. But with the WhatsApp pool, I think there's probably going to be a little bit more FOMO at the end. Everybody likes to wait to the last minute to do something. Like, it's like, okay, guys, 3 hours to go. Like, get your ticket or, F off. Just like with Big Payday or like with the fork when it happens for PulseChain, like if you don't get in beforehand, once the date takes over, like you missed out. So I think people are really going to be scooping some of those up. And I've been seeing a lot of people use the strategies that we've been talking about, that is like making multiple of these NFTs. And so, that when you make multiple of these NFTs, you're kind of, broadcasting that you're wanting to cash in on the yield at some point, whether it be through a secondary market like OpenSea or X2Y2, or you're burning the NFT for yield. So I think this thing is going to have a marketplace, both on the secondary market for people trying to take profits, selling to those who didn't get in, during the initial minting phase. But then also, I think people, when the 90-day mark hits and we have the beginning of the 39,000 T shares that are going to be up for the liquidation auction, that's all burnt Hedron, which translate into Icosa yield, which, if it's crazy enough, may entice a large percentage of people to start skimming off some of that yield. And so we could start to see people in that pool starting to increase their relative position now that the yield becomes much more real. Yes, we are all the sloth address. That's the actual name, guys, if you didn't know.